Good morning, folks. I have glued in the SE5a engine, and I have glued on the landing gear assembly, and I'm taking a sigh of relief, and I think I'm going to rest on my laurels for the rest of the day. The engine was easy enough. It fit very nicely into the bay. The landing gear assembly was a bit fiddly, but I was not surprised. The contact points are relatively small, but I did have to sand, scrape, and do a couple of little minor adjustments with an X-Acto knife on the tabs to get them to fit in. It's really important to get all of that right. The last thing one wants is to have a cockeyed airplane sitting on the field. I've had more than my share of those with other kits, not Wingnut wings, but still, it was a little stressful. Of course, one of the challenges I found in this whole process was working with these small anchor points and getting them in. You might be able to see there are actually 4 on each side to the front strut of the landing gear. Those, the attachment points, those are the bottom attachment points from rigging wire that comes down from the underside of the top wing. And the other 4 coming from that direction on the top wing attached to the bottom wing there. Now that I look at it up close, I'll probably pull one of those anchor points out and reposition it slightly. I think I'm going to leave those well enough alone. I did test the eyelets on each of the anchor points to make sure that I could pass through the line, and it was working before I attached the landing gear. Hopefully I haven't mucked that up. It's a real pain if you can't get the line through the eyelet, which is a very good argument for making one your own, making them just slightly bigger. Let's see. Now, of course, we'll have the engine cover, the exhaust pipes, tubing running down the side, the radiator and underside there, the sighting tube. I forget what it was called. I should know it. I was just looking in the instructions, but I forgot the name, that runs along there, and the windscreen. And then, of course, the moment of truth. Well, the moment of truth is actually attaching the top wing, but I have to put in the 4 cabane struts, and of course the struts on each of the wings, the covers for the controls. There's a piece that goes back under the skid there, and of course the rudder, the elevator, and then a few tiny little odds and ends. I say that because the tinier they are, probably the more complicated, but we're getting there, and I'm just happy that the plane, as far as I can see, is sitting level and everything's square, which is good sign. And so far, I'm pleased. Again, no more for today. I think I'll paint some miniatures. Thanks for watching.